All right, let's have some very serious conversations as we talk about education in Nigeria, bringing it back here to what's happening between ASUU and the government.
Yes, the Academic Staff Union of Universities on Wednesday said it will appeal the ruling of the National Industrial Court of Nigeria, which ordered the union to call off its ongoing nationwide strike and resume work. ASUU has been on strike since February 14th to press home demands for improved funding for universities and a review also of the salaries for lecturers, among other issues.
Several meetings between ASUU and the federal government have ended in a deadlock. Consequently, the federal government went to court to challenge the strike. The government, through its counsel, James Igwe, prayed the court for an interlocutory injunction restraining ASUU from taking further steps as regards the strike, pending the determination of the substantive suit. Joining us now to shed more light on these issues is the chairman of the ASUU Unilag chapter, Dele Ashiru. Good morning and thank you for joining us again. It seems that you might have to unmute your mic, Mr. Dele. We don't seem to be able to hear you. Whilst you're muting your mic, I would like you to also please bring us up to speed with the latest developments as regards the issues between ASUU, the government, and NANS.
Well, thank you very much. Can you hear me now?
Yes, loud and clear. Please go ahead.
Oh, thank you very much. Yes, you know, for our union, we reckon that government is only being desperate by rushing to the court to get, you know, an interlocutory order to ask us to get back to class. In our view, that order has not served the cause of justice, because if we have been at daggers drawn with government in the last 13 years over an unfulfilled promise by government, our union don't seem to agree that all what court needs to do is to order us back to class without any reference to the substantive issues leading to the strike action. As you are aware, our lawyers are prepared to, you know, appeal the ruling, and our union is also prepared to take all legitimate steps to get government to do what is right. Rushing to court and getting an order to ask us to go back is really not solving the problem. And that's why we commend NANS for rejecting that underhand court order secured by government and asking government to negotiate with our union so that they can go back to class. So we are going to appeal the judgment. While that is going on, we remain resolute that all the contentious issues leading to the strike action must be addressed by government.
Well, the Minister for Labour and Employment, Chris Ngige, has also mentioned that, you know, while the industrial court has given that order, that the negotiation table is still open and the federal government is still willing to negotiate with ASUU in the period. Is ASUU also open to more negotiations? Is ASUU also willing to meet with the federal government? Does ASUU at this point even trust the negotiating table with the federal government?
Well, if you talk about trust, the Nigerian government is deficient in trust. If you ask whether we are still willing to negotiate with government, yes, we are still willing to negotiate. It is government that is closing the doors of negotiation, not our union. So anytime the minister is ready for such constructive engagement, he knows where to get our union and will be ready, to meet him at that level. But certainly, government has not demonstrated good faith in terms of dealing with the strike action and the issues that led to it.
Let's talk about the protests that have been happening. We know that a few days ago we did report here about the protests blocking the way to the airport in Lagos, Nigeria. We also have reports that the Kaduna government has warned NANS not to bring its protest to block the Kaduna-Abuja highway. What's your take on the protest by NANS and how effective would you say this is?
Well, protest is a legitimate means of civil disobedience. So if NANS feels that that is what is right, our union, respects, the views and the positions of who are stakeholders in the university system. It is unfortunate that a state government is violating a people's fundamental human right to freely associate with one another and to protest. It is unfortunate that Kaduna State government, who came into power on the heels of popular agitation, would then be the one to prevent people from protesting legitimately on matters that concerns them. So for us, it is the right of NANS, to decide on how best to prosecute their interest. And if this protest is one of such activities, our union has no objection to it.
And also, I also want to get a feel of those on your side now. And those are the lecturers. How are they coping, without pay for this long? And do you still have them fully behind ASUU, for the long run?
Well, this is perhaps one of the first strikes that are directly called by our members. And because we know that the government we are dealing with is a fascist and insensitive government, our members knew that we can come to this level. It has been tough. Our members have suffered untold hardship on account of distraction. But we are convinced that unless we do what we are doing, there may be no public universities to return to. Consequently, they are prepared to make those sacrifices in the interest of the Nigerian university system. But if you talk about suffering, our members are really suffering.
Oh, such a pity. And we're, of course, we continue to hope that there is some answer to all of this, as quickly as possible. Elections will be coming up sometime next year. The focus of the Nigerian government, I'm not sure if it will be, on education at this point. But I want to ask ASUU, if there will be something. Is there anything that the government at this point can offer that will enable the body to say, okay, let's go back to work?
Yes. Government should scoop up the Nimi Briggs report, look at what is contained in it, and discuss with our union. Government is only flexing muscle. They are not talking with us. And as a union of intellectuals, we cannot be intimidated by any government. So if government is prepared to end this strike, it can end in 24 hours. All they need to do is to sit down with our union in a honest and frank discussion. Once that is done, it is my conviction that this strike can end very soon.
All right, thank you so much for joining us. And we do hope that the strike comes to an end for the benefit of our Nigerian students as well as our lecturers. We hope that the next time we're having a conversation with you, it'll be good news that we have to share.
Amen. I pray so too. Thank you very much for your interest in our struggle.
Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you.
It is our collective struggle.
Thank you.